Woodstock, Vermont. While its beginnings reach all the way back to 1765, there's a piece of Woodstock and world history that was not to begin until almost 150 years later. However, the stage was set early on. Because Woodstock served as county seat, an industry aimed at pleasing visitors developed along with the town. During the 19th century, tourists, or as they were called then, rusticators, began traveling from New York City and Boston to enjoy the sweeping beauty, natural features, fresh air, and year-round activities, which included golf and hiking, among other sports. In 1892, the Woodstock Inn was built on the former site of Richardson's Tavern, which dated from 1792.
Long before the first ski area. I mean, the Woodstock Railroad was built basically to bring people, they take the Boston and Maine to White River Junction, and then they take the Woodstock Railroad up to Woodstock, be met by, in the early days, a horse-drawn carriage from the Woodstock Inn.
Arthur Wilde, the first Woodstock Inn owner, appreciated the growing enthusiasm for winter sports. In 1910, the inn began operating a winter sports center at the Woodstock Country Club. In 1912, in addition to a toboggan run, sledding, and snowshoeing, the sports center added one more thing.
And then there was ski jumping on the golf course. Hilarious when you see some of the old movies of people with 9 and 10 foot long skis jumping off this makeshift jump on the hill.
Skiing. No one knew it then, but those early days of primitive skis and makeshift jumps were setting the stage for one of the most storied legends of the ski industry, Suicide 6. Most early skiing happened on open slopes and tamed land free of stumps, trees, and rocks. Skiing continued in this manner until 1932, when Olympic fever inspired Woodstock Inn manager Dwight Francis to start the Woodstock Ski Runners. He imported Fritz Stury to head up a ski school, and the ski craze was officially underway.
I went to the sawmill where they make dowels, and I drilled a hole in the bottom of the dowel, put a nail in, and then filed the end of it off. And I got a coffee can, I drilled out around that, and I made a pair of ski poles out of that. It was Alec Bright and Al Seiss, they're big shots in skiing. They came, and I thought they were going to bust a gut laughing. I was pretty proud of those damn things, you know.
In the early 1930s, Bob and Betty Royce, owners of the White Cupboard Inn, responded to the pleas of weekend skiers for improved skiing in Woodstock. They began by installing a ski tow, modeled on one recently opened in Shawbridge, Quebec. Model T and Montgomery Ward tractor engines powered the lift, which was built for $500. It ran up Clint Gilbert's pasture. Gilbert's Hill, arguably America's first ski resort, opened for its first season on February 1st, 1934. While a Dartmouth student, Wallace Bunny Bertram, avid sportsman and snowshoeing champion, came to Woodstock to act as a chauffeur for Mrs. Fisk, a second homeowner and patron of skiing. After graduating, he got involved in skiing, and luckily for the sport, he stayed involved. But it was Bunny who hit upon a better way to run a ski tow.
They kept burning out the engines, and so when my father was asked what he thought of it, and I remember him always saying that he thought of seeing a Ferris wheel when he was a kid, and that gave him the idea to put the drive on top so that the heavy wet rope wasn't being pushed up the hill but pulled.
Bunny Bertram took over the operations of Gilbert's Hill in the fall of 1934. After electrifying the lift with the help of the Woodstock Electric Company, Bertram doubled the lift capacity to 300 skiers per hour. With the support of Mrs. Fisk, a second rope tow was added at Gilbert's Hill in 1935, while at the same time they began to develop the Gully ski tow.